Serial killers from around the world. Number 1. Yu Young-chul, the Rain Court Killer. Yu Young-chul was born in 1970 in South Korea, growing up in deep poverty and emotional neglect. A quiet, withdrawn child, he struggled in school and quickly fell into a life of crime. By the early 90s, he was in and out of prison for theft, assault, and fraud, each stay making him colder, angrier, and more disconnected from the world. He married once, had a child, and tried to live a normal life, but it didn't last. His violent behavior led to a divorce, and he lost custody of his child, something that seemed to deeply affect him and twist his view of society even further. By 2003, Yu's resentment exploded into something horrifying. He began murdering elderly wealthy people, believing they were corrupt. Soon after, he shifted his rage to women he met through illegal escort services, claiming they were immoral. His crimes were calculated, brutal, and driven by a warped sense of justice. He confessed to killing over 20 people. His arrest came in 2004 after a minor incident led police to uncover the true extent of his crimes. Cold and emotionless, he showed no remorse, even smiling during interrogations. In 2005, he was sentenced to death, but due to South Korea's informal moratorium on executions, he remained alive on death row. Yu Young-chul died in prison in 2023 of natural causes, alone, unmourned, but his legacy remains as one of South Korea's most terrifying serial killers. A chilling reminder that monsters can hide behind the most ordinary faces. Number 2. Ted Bundy, the Killer with a Smile. Ted Bundy was born in 1946 in Burlington, Vermont, but his life started with a lie. Raised by his grandparents, he grew up not knowing that his mother was actually his sister. The truth shattered him later, leaving behind confusion and identity issues he never recovered from. From the outside, Ted was the all-American guy, charming, intelligent, polite. He studied psychology, volunteered on political campaigns, and even worked at a suicide prevention hotline. But behind that warm smile was a chilling secret. Ted didn't want to help people, he wanted to control them. His life was full of manipulation. He had a long-term girlfriend and was even a stepfather for a time. But relationships were just masks. His need for power ran deeper than love ever could. By the early 1970s, women started disappearing across Washington and Oregon. Pretty, young, brunette, they all fit a type. Ted lured them by pretending to be injured or needing help, then led them to their doom. No one suspected him. He was too clean-cut, too polite. That was his weapon. He moved across states, Utah, Colorado, Florida. Each time the killings continued. He was arrested in 1975, but escaped custody twice. During his final run in Florida, he committed some of his most violent attacks, including the infamous Chi Omega sorority house murders at Florida State University. He was finally caught again in 1978. This time, he couldn't escape. In court, he defended himself, charmed reporters, and even proposed to a woman in the middle of the trial. But the mask was slipping. In 1989, after confessing to killing over 30 women, possibly many more, Ted Bundy was executed in the electric chair. Crowds cheered outside the prison as news broke. The charming smile was gone. All that remained was a legacy of horror. Ted Bundy wasn't just a killer. He was a performer, a manipulator, proof that evil can wear a suit and say all the right things. Number 3. Jack the Ripper. In the fog-drenched streets of 1888 London, a shadow moved through the alleys of Whitechapel, silent, unseen, and deadly. The name Jack the Ripper would become legend. But his true identity remains one of history's greatest mysteries. The victims were women, all living in the margins, trying to survive in a brutal world. One by one, they were found murdered in chillingly precise ways. The brutality wasn't random. It was surgical, calculated. This was no ordinary killer. This was someone who wanted to send a message. Letters began arriving to the press, signed Jack the Ripper. They taunted police, bragging about the murders. The media exploded. Panic spread. Women were afraid to walk alone. Men were suspected. The whole city was on edge. Despite countless investigations and suspects, from butchers to doctors to royals, no one was ever arrested. Jack vanished as mysteriously as he appeared, leaving behind fear, fascination, and endless theories. He killed at least 5 women in just a few months, and then disappeared forever. Jack the Ripper wasn't just a killer. He was a mythmaker, a ghost wrapped in fog. And over a century later, we still don't know his name. For more criminology, subscribe to our channel.